Valentin Spurchisi, thank you so much for spending time with me today. We already started, you told this story once, but now I'm going to ask you to tell it one more time.
Yeah.
I think people are going to love this. I'll give the setup if that's okay. So one of the things that amazed me that you were telling me about is your regular job that you do every day as a street musician, street performer, and you're in the traffic lights, and when it turns to a red light, and then you go and you perform like during 30 seconds, 40 seconds. So this is amazing. Like, well, I'm just going to recap one of the things you said. So between 30 seconds and 40 seconds, you've got your violin, you go out and you perform, and you have to collect the money. You have to pass the hat. And you're saying that you have a community of people that you know who also do this. It's their regular job.
Yeah, this is the normal. There are a lot of circus artists that they find a way of living, working on the traffic lights. It's kind of not a tradition, but I can say something normal that some people have been doing for the last 20 years. So yeah, it's more like you are an artist, maybe juggler, your mom, you do something and you want to earn some money. It's been for the last 12, 15 years, it's been a really good way to do it. So yeah, it's good because you have a really cool way to express yourself. Maybe right now it's kind of hard because also you have all the problems, everything, in the streets you always have problems. But it's a cool way to make a living for the moment.
You say you feel like you can express yourself.
Yeah, it's a really cool way of express because you have a really small amount of time to play, to do anything you want to do. And this is not just about technique, it's not about how good you are. Of course, maybe you are really good, we are really awesome, you throw in the air, 7 balls, maybe you can juggle with 3 cliffs, and I don't know, if you're good with your technique, it's not just that. Right. It's about what you can transmit to people. And for me, it's been really good because it helped me to improve the way I talk to people. Because I all my life I've been really shy, really shy. I even had many years ago panic attacks when I tried to play in front of 100 people, even 60 people. So it really helped me to learn to play. Actually, to play, I got better at playing the violin, because if you're in the streets playing like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, even 8 hours playing, it helps you. Then you get to some point that maybe it's not so good because you're doing always the same thing. We talk about the thing that maybe if you always do the same thing, the same pattern, it's like at the end of the day it's not going to be cool. But for me, it was good to learn and to learn how to connect with people. I think the most important thing of this kind of work is to learn to connect with people. Then, if you want to play, if you want to build a show by yourself, you have to learn different kind of things. But it helps. It helped me a lot. Right now, I have my own project, a little bit. In the same way you do with the Loop Station, I also have my project called Valentino's Violino, and that idea came from the traffic light. Okay, I'm working by myself. I'm enjoying working by myself, but I want to play a little bit more. I want to play in some square, in some bar, and some festival. So I started to think. And rethink a lot of things about how to build a show and a spectacle. So it helped me a lot to how to communicate with people, to be in front of people, because the main thing you have in the streets is that everybody's there. If you have it there and they are looking at you and they're waiting for something, it's like you have somebody, it's like, okay, you're here, you're going to do something, do your thing, do it. And that could be a lot of pressure. But then you realize that, yeah, the beginning could be really, really heavy, but then if you do something good, and not in the technique, if you do something really with the motion, with the timing, and with a really good connection, then the thing that you can create is amazing. It's really amazing. It's really deep. It's really, really deep that sometimes you can feel, I don't know, you can feel if somebody is feeling bad and you cheer him, maybe I don't know, for me it happens that sometimes I started to play for children, and you make a connection with children. It's really amazing, it's really cool, because they can be really rude too, because if you're bad at doing it, if you're playing bad, they're going to tell you that you're playing bad. And it's not the same if you have somebody telling you, like they're sitting on the other thing with the audience, and they don't like it, like you said the other day.
Yeah.
Probably you're playing and nobody's going to tell you, I don't like what you do. But children, they do. They told you. It's like if they don't like it, they're going to tell you, I don't like it. Why you're sounding so bad? And at the beginning that hurts. Even I guess it hurts a lot. But then you realize that it helps you to improve yourself, to grow as a musician, as a player, even as a person. So it's really awesome, because 2 weeks ago I was in Sardinia. It's an island from Italy, really beautiful island, with a friend from Spain, from Andalusia, and we were talking about the thing that if we reach that point where we can live playing music in bars, doing concerts, on different things, and anyway, we're going to still play in the streets. Because we think that, I think and he think, and I know there's a lot of people that think the same, that music and art in general shouldn't be a luxury, something that, okay, if you have 50 euros, 100 euros, okay, you can pay for that and you go. Well, no, I don't want that, because art should be something that everybody could enjoy. So that's one thing you learn playing the street. I think there's some guys that also speak with you that they had this connection, and when you have this connection, it's kind of an addiction. It's like you cannot stop it. You want to keep being in contact and touch with people.
Wow,
It's kind of a really, really cool thing to do. Actually, I love to play with a band. I love to play in a bar, in a concert. I really love to play with, I don't know, with 300 people. It's really amazing. But it's different.
yeah.
It's different. It's a different sensation.
There's a directness about being on the street, and I guess you never know what's going to happen on the street.
You never know what's going to happen. You never know.
And you could meet anybody. You could go for an hour and nobody gives you any money.
Probably. It's normal.
It's normal.
It's normal. Yeah, I actually, for example, actually we were talking about this with my friend, that it's crazy. Maybe you play for an hour and nobody even look at you, but in the last 5 minutes somebody passed and buy a CD, and maybe another one, maybe you earn 40-50 bucks in selling 2, 3, 4 CDs in 5 minutes. Maybe nobody stops, but people give you money, which is weird, because okay, if you like it, you could say no. They keep walking. Maybe they tell you something nice and they keep walking. Or maybe you have a lot of people. This happened to me in London. Maybe you have a really, really huge crowd, and then nobody pays, nobody gives you nothing. But then it depends. Maybe if it was a really good experience, at the end of the day, you don't care too much because it changed. So maybe you can be happy with the money, or maybe you don't earn too much money, but all the experience you had was too good, so you don't care. At the end of the day, it's more like, well, we talked about this an hour ago about it's not so much about the money. It's more about the art by itself, and to be happy to do the things we like to do.
And so, sorry, this is probably a boring question, but do you have an amplifier like on your belt or something like this?
No, I use
Or wireless?
a wireless microphone, and I put my amplifier. That I built it because I was tired to carry on this big, heavy amplificators.
You made your own amp,
Yeah,
and you made it lighter.
Yeah, because to travel, one thing is that this kind of show you have to be traveling all around and walking, and it's a good thing because you get used to really know all the cities. So because you walk all the cities.
Wow.
And I got really tired to go with this big amp, so I put my amps over there, a really small one, but really loud, and I play. I don't have any cable, so it's like
Wow.
that allows me to move, to dance a little bit, to stop and look at the people, to jump and do more things like a clown.
That's right, because you're playing like during this 40 seconds when the light is red, you're running out in front of people in the street, I guess,
Right.
and then you're playing a song, but you're also doing some kind of performance. You described it as clown.
Yeah, it's more like a clown. I'm not a clown. I cannot say I'm a clown, but I've been learning a little bit, and I discovered that I've been a kind of a clown all my life. It's like when one is a little bit shy, it's like I didn't do this kind of things. But then I realized that, well, with like a costume, because I use, my character use these glasses, this hat, I go with the shirt, but the tie and all those things. Really, it's more like a hipster.
Oh, a hipster.
Yeah, kind of a hipster character. And it allows me, okay, I'm not using the red nose, but it kind of allows me, like when I use the red nose, to do anything I want. It's like I'm kind of free to do anything I want. So
You're playing a character.
Yeah.
And so there's some physical, I don't know, dance or some kind of physical.
I cannot say it's like a dance because at the end of the day I'm not a dancer. But anyway,
but it's this whole performance.
It's a whole performance, because if you see somebody that just go in front of the cars and just put over there, just stays over there and play looking at the sky like and then say okay thanks and pat the heads, it's going to be boring. Maybe it's going to be awesome. Maybe it's really good. He can play Paganini really fast. Yeah, but it's not all about that.
You're trying to kind of connect with people, compel them somehow.
Yeah, because you have the
surprise
people,
them.
Yeah, you have the people over there. You can watch them in the eyes, and you can see if they're smiling, if they're sad, if they're angry, if they're tired. So you can connect with people and start to play with that. And that's kind of thing that not too many musicians do. It's a cool thing to do, because I think improvisation could allow to do this kind of thing, because one is doing some improvisation, you can connect with people to see, okay, yeah, if you can see them in the faces, you can see their eyes, you can also think, okay, I'm doing something cool, I'm doing something for him, for her. You can start to play.
When you perform for people in the in front of the traffic lights, in the traffic stop, sorry.
The traffic stop.
Are you saying that you like kind of, you look at people while you're performing for them, and you judge their expressions, and you get feedback in the moment.
Yeah.
Not just whether they give you money, but you're like seeing whether they're like, if they're like, people are like, oh, why is this guy here? Or if they're like, this is awesome. Hey, everybody, look.
Yeah.
You're kind of noticing this while you play.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Sometimes we have a trick when all the jugglers, also many jugglers do this. That if you find somebody that's, if you're just going out and you see somebody that's already annoyed, like, oh man, no again, I don't want to see this. It's like, okay, I'm going to do this, and just for you. You get it? It's because it's like this. At the end of this thing is kind of a bad energy. It's like you feel bad. I don't know why, but you feel bad, and you think that I'm going to annoy you, and you don't know what I'm going to do. So the thing is I concentrate to play to this person, to say, see, I'm not going to annoy you, I'm not going to bother you, I'm just trying to do something, and something that, come on, it's like I'm playing mostly classical music. It's not something that's going to be bad. I think I'm not playing it really bad, so it's not going. I'm not going to know you. So this kind of thing helps you to protect yourself, because that kind of things can hurt you.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about, like, if I'm playing at a club or a theater, and if I look at somebody and they're like, if they're talking, or if they're, I don't know, they have a expression on their face, I think my initial reaction is to get defensive about it.
Yeah.
And even be like mad at that person or angry at that person or something.
Yeah, at the beginning it's like,
and it might even affect the way I play then. I might get angry and then my playing may lose something, you know what I mean? But you're saying that you see this all the time, but you're like, okay, now I'm going to try to, I don't know, it's like you turn that
it's
around.
not like an aikido. It's like I use that bad energy we use, because there's a lot of people that do this.
Wow.
We take this energy and say, okay, I'm going to transform this energy. I'm going to try to put something. I'm going to try to put a smile on your face.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, it's kind of that. For me, it's the best thing is when people not just give you money, because again, it's not all about money. Yeah, I'm making a living about playing in the streets, playing in bars and all stuff. But the thing is to do something nice, to do something beautiful. And sometimes the beautiful is the connection you make with people. And for me, what is really awesome, really cool, is when somebody gives you money, also say you thanks.
Wow.
That's strong, because man, you're giving me money. You are already saying me, I like what you do. But you also keep saying me thanks.
Wow.
And that's at least for me, it's really awesome. Also because if you're a little bit sensitive and you can really see and feel the emotion of the people that surrounds you, for me, if I see somebody that is having a bad day, really have a bad day, but you can see in his eyes that for a moment, for 1 minute, everything was fine, and they were not happy, but they stopped thinking about all the bad things for 1 minute. So that's enough for me. That's really good. I think art should be, that's the final idea, at least for me, that art should do. It's something beautiful we do, to not think about all things and to feel fine, to feel really the joy, all the good things that surround us. Things more like that. But I work like this, and I'm doing.
The community of people that you work with, or other people that you know that are specifically making their living playing music in the streets, do you think this is a common philosophy, like what you were saying about kind of trying to, transform people's energy and just trying to make people feel good, or is there just some people are just trying to make money? Or
I think you have, like, in all the subjects, you have a lot of different situations, but mostly in the streets, at least what I've seen from musicians, is that you have a lot of people trying to work, and it's not the same. For example, if you're working in the metro, I can give you a lot of examples, but right now I'm thinking in London. I work in the metro in London. It's really it's mafia over there.
Mafia.
Yeah, because in theory you have auditions, but you don't have, in the reality you don't have the auditions, so you cannot get space, a place to play. And if you go over there, everybody's fighting, everybody's arguing, and all this stuff, and it creates a really bad environment to play. And I have a friend that he played like 10 years in London. He told me this, that he didn't grow, he didn't improve his ways of playing, or like an artist, like a musician. He played the piano, so he didn't learn too much things in 10 years. And actually he started to think that he was wasting his time playing in the metro. Yeah, he was making a lot of money, because if you're good, it's not like just, again, it's not like if you're good musician, if you have to get good doing that kind of job.
If you know how to get people to give you money.
That's the thing.
There's many things that go together with getting money, because it's also about how do you pass the hat.
How do you pass the hat? The timing. If in the metro, in the metro, all is about timing. It's if you can see people that's coming to you and you say, yeah, this people's going to like this, and you put the faces, you start to play some different song, or you play it in another way. Maybe you can talk. There is a lot of things you can learn. It's not like, for example, if this guy did it in Montreal, I think they're playing on the metro. On the metro, they're playing with
Josh Bell. In Washington D.C. played in the metro.
It's like
it was a PR stunt.
Yeah, I know. It's like
where he only got $12, but all he was doing was sitting there and just
it's like
playing in a corner somewhere.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He wasn't asking for money.
He was in a really bad spot. Really bad spot. For the beginning, the spot was really bad. So he was in a really bad spot. He was in a really bad hour, and he was playing something really soft, because you have to use amplification. You have to know what songs you have to play. You have to know what costume to use. There's a lot of things. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm a good violinist. I'm the best violinist in the world with the best violin in the world, and I'm going to earn money. No, it's not. It's not going.
Yeah, because in other words, the people you know make much more money than Josh Bell did
for sure.
He was working for 3 hours and he made $12.
The guys
your friends are making $50 an hour.
The guys that were playing in the metro, in the wagon inside the metro,
in London.
No, here.
Here in Madrid.
I watched two guys playing the guitar, singing, and a little piano. In the metro, while I was coming over here, they made more money than Joshua playing 3 hours. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not what do you do, how do you do it.
Yeah, because it's about, and what I think about from a business standpoint is like that when you're, it's not just play music, you have to ask people to give you money somehow, or you have to surprise them or make them somehow compel them to want to give you money. So there's a lot more than just playing.
Just playing. It's like, maybe you just not. For example, we play the violin. Okay, I cannot play the violin and start to speak. So it's like if I have to do that thing with all my face, with the eyes, to look
the body,
to say thanks, keep playing. To if I see a little girl or a little boy to start playing fiddle songs. From Ireland, things like that. The thing is, it's not just do your stuff. Right. Okay, I'm here, I'm going to play just that. But
and there's not just one way to do it, I guess, too, because I thought that the conversion strategy is a way to, because you sell CDs.
I also sell CDs.
And so people have a couple different options. They can either just give you a tip, or they can, I'm just checking here, they can give you a tip in a hat or something like that, or they can buy a CD. But do you have a sign also?
Yeah. I have a sign with all the name of the show. I have my own logo and with the you can find
artwork or something.
Yeah, artwork, all the stuff. But it all helps if you have the good costume, the good name, the good the sign. If you say, for example, a good trick, because it's a trick. Most of the buskers from London and from the UK, I've been watching that they use this kind of sign to say, "Help me to come back home. Help me to get money for my wedding. Help me to."
Wow.
And for me, it's kind of it's too much for me, because at the end of the day, you don't know if that's true. Maybe it's true in some cases, and maybe it's not so true.
I see.
So you have many of ways to get money to give you things. It depends on you.
Yeah.
For example, I don't take off my hat when I play. I don't take off my hat. If there is somebody that wants to give me money, I take my hat off. But it's not that I'm going over there with the hat in the hand and going, because I prefer that. It's not that it's bad.
Right.
It's my way to do it.
What about in the traffic, though? You say you pass the hat.
The same. It's the same.
You have your hat on, but if someone reaches their hand out with the money,
that's the same.
then you come over.
Yeah.
Wow.
If somebody calls me, if somebody's in another car and call me and say, "Hey, wait, okay, I'm going over there," I also do it in kind of a clown way, that's like with the reverence all stuff. Just because it's funny, and I do it because it's funny and people smile with this kind of stuff. And it's because I prefer to do it. I have friends that maybe they do it, but they go with it's not a hat. Maybe I have a friend that used I don't know how to say it in English, when you used to filter, I don't know, the noodles when you're cooking pasta.
Oh the pan.
The pan,
whatever.
Well, he used it with a really long.
Strainer.
A strainer with a really long bag. So it's funny because you can see him going with this. So it's fun. It's a joke. So everybody has their own ways.
Yeah.
So it's like.
But you don't sell CDs then in the traffic stop?
No, in the traffic. But I sell CDs, but it's more for the people, because all the neighbors the neighbors from the place where I play, they probably listen to me for 1 hour, 2 hours, and there have been people that ask me for a CD. And it's not the same. The same thing. In the CD I have a different kind of music. My show is really different from what I do in the traffic stop. But anyway, the people say, "Oh, you're cool. I like what you're doing. Do you have something to listen?" Yeah, sure.
Wow.
Yeah, it depends.
So the community of street performers is diverse.
It's really diverse.
And some people are doing it in different ways. People have different lines that they draw, or standards, or ethics, or whatever. But that's interesting that you don't like push the hat that hard, but you still get people come to you in the traffic light. And you have different shows, like when you do this 40 seconds at the traffic light. So you play for like 25 seconds, and then you take a bow, and then you look around. And then you have 15 seconds in case somebody wants to get
maybe less. Maybe I play for 40 seconds, and I have 5 seconds to do some reverence and to stop, to say goodbye, and to pass between the cars. Wow. But the thing is, we tend to search for longest times. Not all the traffic lights have the same times. And then maybe you're working with some time. Then at 9 o'clock, change the time. So you have to get used to different. And in between, maybe you are playing and the cars start to crossing. That's kind of aggressive thing, but it happens. But you have to think about the time you have, about the people you have around you walking. It's kind of a weird sensation, because you have to be aware of all the things that surround.
A lot of things to think about. A lot of variables. And then you have other shows for when you play in a bar, or if you're playing in a square, a plaza, or whatever, or just like not on the traffic light, but on a street corner somewhere, or in a theater. And so you have different formats for these shows. But you were saying earlier that because you're playing in this direct situation so much, it makes you think more about, when you make your show, the long form show, it makes you think about it more from a theatrical standpoint. Is that right?
Because you can learn a lot from people and what people likes. For example, one thing I learned that helped me a lot with the improvisation is that people don't want to hear the same. People want things new.
Mm-hmm.
People want to, even not just new, people want to hear original things. So if I'm playing some piece of Vivaldi, I played a lot of Vivaldi, I love it. And I played in my way. And maybe one time I played in a way, and maybe then another time I played in a different way. A little bit faster, a little bit slower. The changes, I do it a little bit with volume, a little bit softer, a little bit louder. And just go searching what people want. And actually, because it's not, at the end of the day, if I'm all the time playing the same thing in the same way, it's boring.
Mm-hmm.
It's boring to do that kind of thing. So I had, I don't know, 30, 40 different pieces of music that also it depends where are you. Maybe you can start to understand in a psychological way the people, because not everybody from all the places like the same music. Not everybody like the same rhythms. Not everybody like the same, and that these variables can change even all on the day. So maybe in the morning, it's not the same if you're playing in the morning in Italy that if you're playing in the night in the UK, or maybe in France, or maybe in Spain, or maybe in Germany, maybe in Brussels, in Belgium. It's not the same. So you start to understand the people in a psychological way, because you can see how they react. Maybe I have the fortune to have this kind of thing. I'm lucky because it's not the same. It's not so much the same with the jugglers. Jugglers doesn't have so much. A juggler maybe have 1, 2, 3 tricks, acts,
repertoire.
I have 40. I have 40 songs, and each song is like different trick.
Right.
So people doesn't get bored, and I don't get bored, and also I can change it. I have the ability to change it and maybe do it different ways. So I can play with how the people feel in this moment, this particular moment of the day, and in this place of the world.
Wow. And so part of the reason you know about this, I think, is because you said you tour. Is this true? So how much do you travel? When do you travel?
Well, I tend to travel on the summer, from June to September. Actually, I should be right now ending the tour, but I came here just to have the class with you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was in Sardinia, but I chose to come over here I didn't want to lose the master class. So, and then kind of from June to end of September, traveling, going to festivals, playing my show, playing the traffic light, playing bar. Also, I've been I didn't search for that, but it's been a normal thing the last years that I am playing with other bands, with other groups, doing improvisation, just because maybe I can play funk, African music. Then this year I played cumbia, quarteto, rock, blues.
Right.
Even I had some experimental music mixing didgeridoo and fire, juggling with fire and singing all the stuff. So it's kind of more like open mind. I'm always searching opportunities to play. That's the kind of thing.
June through September, you're touring around Europe.
Yeah.
And sometimes festivals, sometimes bars, plazas, streets, traffic lights, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So are any of these things planned, or are you always just showing up and like trying to, like if you go to a festival, it's not like someone gave you a contract, or you're just kind of showing up the festival and just like hanging out?
Yeah, sometimes happens like that. Sometimes that's a good thing when you're traveling alone. It's easier if you have your own car. I don't have a car. I'm going to get my car this year because I want to do it with the car. And but yeah, for example, I had a plan. This year, and it ended like totally different. For example,
Wow.
I didn't think that I was going to end playing so much time and living so much time in Switzerland.
Wow.
And it ended that way because I met some guys. They needed violinists. Okay, I went with them to Neuchâtel to a festival, 1 week festival called Neuchâtel Basking Festival. These guys plays cumbia. They call super cumbia.
Wow.
And they're really good friends. Really amazing people and really fun music. And also they have this thing that they play all with costume, with superhero costume. So
Super cumbia.
yes, it was really cool. So I then ended playing this festival just by fortune, but I was lucky to meet them in the right moment. It's kind of always been like that. Like if you're open to things to happen, things happen.
Wow. Yeah, but I know so many musicians who are trained, and I mean, you told me that I think you are self-taught on the violin, and you just started maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, kind of.
Because you're like 28 now, and you started when you were 24.
Yeah. Which
is amazing. But I know so many people that have trained, maybe since like me, since they were 5.
It's a lot.
But they're not willing to go out and play in a traffic light or with a cumbia band. And you don't even learn cumbia music, but you just figure it out. Like you told me today, like you don't have a problem improvising because it's just like you don't know that you're supposed to have a problem with it, right? It's like you decide. The violin is whatever you make of it, which is awesome.
Yeah. For example, it's not that I can. For example, for cumbia, it's one thing. It's not. I play a lot of that style. But I grew up in Argentina and we listened to this kind of music, different kind of music. But at the end of the day, I can say something we are used to listen. But then, it's not the same to listen and then play. The thing is, I don't have all the technique, I don't have all the training I have to learn. I have a lot of things to learn yet. But one thing I know is I come from a way to play music. That's like I come from the punk, rock, funk music, and one thing that contain them that is these styles that you can do anything you want, and I learned that kind of thing.
Right.
And actually, that's the truth. You can do anything you want, and if you're not playing for a symphony, if you're not playing with some rules, nobody can tell you what you can do and you cannot do.
You work for yourself?
Even if you're playing by yourself, just like a hobby for just spare time, you're free. Everybody's free to do whatever you want.
Right.
But most of the time we have fear to do something different, to go outside the boundaries.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm used to not be inside these rules. So I think most of the people that learn to play classical instruments should relax a little bit. Maybe that's the thing, to relax and to think that to make a mistake is not so bad. Actually, I'm here talking to you because I made a lot of mistakes. I think I made a lot of mistakes in my life, but the thing is, one should grow with each mistake. It's like, okay, I'm not doing this right. How can I change it?
Yeah.
How can I do it better? How can I do it? Or maybe, I told you before, I choose this kind of life. I could be working as an engineer, or working in front of a computer 8-9 hours a day, and I could be earning a lot of money, but I don't want to earn a lot of money. And it's not like, okay, I don't know what is not to have. No, I know how to. I came from a family without money, really poor situation, and I know what is not having to eat, not having to even to pay a bus ticket. So The thing is, what is the important thing, to earn money or to do something that makes you happy? And I choose to do something that makes me happy. That's playing the violin. So yeah, it's a hard decision, and it's make a lot of mistakes every day, but this is my decision, and I think that's the thing. Most musicians don't have their own decisions. Like they're afraid to say, yeah, I'm going to play this, I'm going to do this, and that means you have the responsibility of what you do. And I think that maybe sometimes, and not just in music, in life in general, people tend to have really afraid to say, this is me. This is me. Here I am. This is all I have, at least at this moment. And for some people, they prefer to say, okay, what should I do? You tell me what should I do? So to be in a group, to be in a band where there is a director and somebody's told you have to do this, you have to sound like this, you have to put the bow in this way. Not just because you should learn to do it, it's because it's the right way.
Right.
It's the good way. I don't like this kind of thing, that the good and the bad way.
Right. Yeah.
Things in life aren't black or white, so it's like have the right to do that way. I'm doing this kind of life, and it's like I cannot say it's the good way. It's my way. I'm happy doing this life. Not maybe for you or for other guys, not going to be something good, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own life.
Right. That's amazing. I mean, what I heard from what you just said, a lot of things, but I mean, one of the things was sort of like giving it, or what it made me think of was just the idea of being willing to fail a lot, and that, I mean, you're really putting yourself out there every day. You're going in front of the traffic lights, and you're traveling around Europe. You don't know where you're going to play the next day. You don't know how you're going to make, if you're going to make 50 euros that day or 5 euros.
Maybe, could happen, or maybe nothing.
Or maybe not, yeah. And I mean, you're just going to play for strangers in some environment where I don't know, maybe sometimes the police tell you to stop too in front of the traffic stuff. And I think you've mentioned that maybe like the streets can also be a little bit rough or unpredictable. Like
even dangerous. So here in Europe, you have you can argue, fight with different mafias you have here. So yeah, it could be something dangerous also. But again, it's not something that's going to stop me to do it.
Yeah. And also what I heard you saying was, I mean, or what comes up for me is just that part of the reason I want to interview you, and part of why I think it's so inspiring. You're so inspiring, because I mean, just for people that don't know or whatever, just to I mean, Valentin came to take a master class from me in Madrid. You traveled here, and we met before on Skype because you were asking me, things like, hey, how do you hold the bow? How do you hold the violin? Because you taught yourself. You've had like 10 violin lessons your whole life. You started playing when you were 24. You're 28 now, and so you kind of sought me out as like, somebody is like a maestro or whatever of the instrument that can tell you like how can you get a better sound, or how can you play in tune or vibrato, and even, or whatever theory, all these kinds of things. And I know a lot of, really super ultra professional musicians, but what I find so inspiring about you, that's what I want everybody else to hear, is this attitude that comes from you as someone who's totally self-taught. It's just I don't want to say it's fearless, but because I'm sure that you must be afraid sometimes. I would be afraid.
I live with fear. That's the thing. When I talk with some friends about this, it's like they told me like, well, you cannot go with fear, without fear, all day long. And no, I actually have fear all day long. The thing is, it's a little bit like I said before. We all have fears,
right?
All the time, every day, doing everything. So what do? We tend to stay in the comfort zone, where we know that some fears are in control. You know that, okay, if you live here, you're going to get paid at the end of the month. If you do this thing, nobody's going to rob you, nobody's going to punch you in the face. You put yourself in a place where fears are controlled. And the thing is, at the end of the day, you build your own prison with these fears. So fears are, at the end of the day, everything is really quiet. You don't feel this voice behind you talking really weird things. But the thing is, we should use fear as like an engine, like energy, something that say, okay, I have feared of this kind of thing. Well, I should do it, because why the hell do I have to stop? If I have fear, what's the fear? To fail? Fear to do something wrong? To everybody get fool with me? I don't know. But the thing is, we shouldn't let fear to stop us. We have to use it for growth.
Yeah.
I told you before, I had panic attacks when I was young.
Right.
When I played with my bands, I had really, I think my friends they don't know about this, but I had really bad times when I was playing the guitar, the main guitar. All the moments I had to do the solos, for me it was really heavy. But then many years after that, I decided to say, okay, if I have this problem, I should face it. I should go and do it. I put myself in a situation where I can overcome this fear.
So you started playing like every day, playing more.
Yeah, playing more. And so it's like,
instead of once a week or once a month.
Yeah, once a month. So it's like, and the first time in traffic light was horrible. The first time I come back here in Europe to do the tour and all stuff, it was really hard. It took me like 15 minutes to start playing, because I wasn't inside. It's like, I was like, okay, I'm going to play now, but I don't know if it's a good place. I don't know if it's a good time. I don't know, but I'm going to fail because I don't know, I haven't played in a long time. It's normal. But then the thing is, most of the people surrender them to this fear, to this this thought that it's like, I cannot do it.
Right.
Yeah, okay, let's try. First, let's try. Then we talk. That's at least how I think about it. For me, it's better to try something and fail than nothing.
Yeah. And this is, and I love this, and it's something that with a lot of the students that were in this master class in Madrid with us, I mean, most of them have more training,
Really amazing. There was a 13-year-old boy, amazing.
Right. Well, he's been playing for 6 or 7 years,
Even him, it's like half of my age, and he was playing for a long time.
But I mean, a lot of these people that are really highly trained, they can learn a lot from you. I mean, everybody can learn a lot from your example, and I'm really inspired by it, because it reminds me also, about my comfort zones, and we're always, maybe we expand our comfort zone, but then it's there.
It's there. Yeah,
and then we stop expanding, and so we have to always keep asking how to expand. And I think also I'm always talking to my music business clients about how marketing and sales is really trial and error.
Yeah.
Like you try something and you see, well, did it work? And if it doesn't work, then you say, well, okay, let me try something else. You change, you go to a different street corner, or you try a different timing or a different song, or, and then you tweak those variables until you get feedback, oh, this works, and then you improve on it in smaller ways.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're not even doing that. I mean, it's not like you found one metro stop and and it works for you, so you go there every day. You still move on all the time. Yeah. So you're just creating these constant experiments, and I don't know, it's amazing.
See, people tend to say that I create my own problems. It's like, for me, it's more fun to know different places, know different people, to do different things.
Yeah, you were saying that you're getting more out of just finding connections with people, and this puts you in a situation where you're constantly connecting with people, right? And you used to have a job as a web designer and also as an engineer, and you could easily have a job and make a lot of money again like you used to, but you've chosen this, which is also super inspiring to me. I don't know. I'm curious to see what you do when you're 45 and you got kids running around and stuff. Who knows?
Who knows?
But you will have had this experience though, which is amazing.
The good thing is, I have a philosophy that, at least for me, it works for my life. That is, if there's somebody that is doing something, why can I do it? Why cannot if somebody's doing it, I can do it too.
Right.
If I want it, I can do it because somebody already doing it.
Right.
So I have a lot of friends that they have families, they have house,
right.
all this stuff, and they also have this kind of life.
Wow.
So, well, if there is people that they can do it.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Actually, my friend, one of my biggest friends that live here in Madrid, he also have just born as a daughter, and he's a performer, and he lives mainly as a performer. He doesn't have any other show.
Wow.
So yes, you can do it. That's the thing. There was this old woman at Zurich like 2 months ago.
At where?
Zurich, in Switzerland.
Okay, in Switzerland. Yeah.
Switzerland. That she listened to me. She saw me, and she started to speak with me, and she asked me about for how long I have been playing, all this stuff, and then she asked me what did I do for a living, and I told her I play in the streets, and she told me like, but do you think of making money? I said no, I make enough money to make a living, and I'm good with that. And then she told me, she asked me, what do you think your parents about?
What do your parents think about this?
What do your parents think about it? Yeah. And I told her, well, my parents know that if I'm happy, they are happy, and just that. That's the main thing. That's how I grew. Me and my brothers we grew. That it's not important the money. It's important to be happy. And she told me like, well, but it's not the same if to get a job. And I told her, yeah, but to get money, to get a job, it's easy. You go, even you can not do anything, you can get money and get a job. But to be happy, to really be happy with your life, it's something you have to work on it. So I prefer to put all my energy in that direction, that in making just money and just getting a job. And also ask me for my future. What did I think about my future?
What are you going to do when you're 45?
Yeah, when 45. And I answered like, well, I'm willing to get with, I don't know, 40, 45, 50 years as a good musician, as a good violinist. I'm projecting myself. It's not like I want to do this level of music all the rest of my life. I want to grow as a musician. I want to grow as a violinist, musician, composer, also as a performer, doing circus tricks, all stuff. But again, I told her there is people doing this.
Yeah.
If there is people doing this, why can I do it?
Yeah. So it sounds like she had a lot of judgment. A lot of people are skeptical of this, and you're a testament to.
There are a lot of people that do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
happy people.
And happy people.
And good people.
And good people. That's the thing. It's like well, I'm trying to be a good person, a good citizen, a good friend, also to be a good musician. But you cannot be a bad person. That's the good thing about this kind of life. It's a community. We're not too much. We know each other. So you have to be just by force, but just you have to be a good person. You cannot be like really asshole and try to make a living of art. Yeah, maybe you can do it if you're, I don't know, Justin Bieber with all producers behind all the stuff. Yeah, you can be an asshole because you have all the money behind and you're not doing art. You're just making money. You're just inside this machinery and you form part of it. But okay, but you're not doing art and you're not having this kind of life. And I don't know if he's happy and this kind of artists are happy, are really, really happy. Most of the stories, if you start to read and to learn about all these big musicians that make history, or maybe not, but that made millions.
Yeah. I'm guessing there's people that are happy
Probably.
or unhappy in all facets of the industry.
Probably there's people, but most of them, it's like you start to see that not all artists were famous artists were all happy.
Right, sure. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's cool.
So maybe to get success, and that's the thing, to be famous, to make success. The other day I was talking about this with one guy that went to your class. He's from Spain. He's 18 years old.
Okay.
And yeah, he was thinking about this binary thing. You're famous, you don't even know this. You're not famous, you're going to die in the street. You're poor.
Oh yeah, the binary.
The binary.
You're
thing
either
is
super famous, or you're not famous and you're nothing.
Yeah, you don't have.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, I was talking to my oldest kid, Camille, about this too, and Cammy, was kind of complaining about this too. The people in the conservatory are like, well, who's that musician? They said, is it just a local musician? They said, is it just a local musician?
Yeah.
And Cammy was like, there's great local musicians.
Yeah.
Just because they're not, it's not a famous,
like,
musician, it's still like, can be a great and a happy and awesome contributor to the community, and to the arts world in general. So yeah,
they had these divisions if you're from local places.
Yeah, if you're local, if you're only known in your city versus you're known worldwide or something, or in the industry if you're in the from, but
that's a heavy thing. If you're a musician, it's a heavy thing because because if you're all the time thinking about I have to be famous, well, you're probably not going to reach any point because you are always thinking with fear not to achieve that. Yeah, and you're wasting all your energy thinking about I'm not going to be famous, and you're not going to be famous because you're repeating yourself I'm not going to be famous. I'm not going to be famous. It's like a mantra. It's like constantly a looping thing.
Wow.
So yeah, you should break it. It's like if I'm talking to you right now, it was because at some point of my life I thought, well, I want to be a violinist, and I think maybe I can be. Not the best one. I'm not going to be Vivaldi. I'm not going to be Paganini. But maybe I could be a good musician. Why not? Why not? And I started to believe that thing, and I started to work. And maybe right now I'm not a good musician. I don't think about myself as a good musician. I think I'm a musician because I've been playing and composing and recording a lot of music in the last 12, 13 years. But I don't think about myself as a huge, great violinist because I have a lot of things to learn. But that doesn't discourage me to keep going, keep growing. Because I have to think, I'm going to make it. Why am I not going to make it?
Right.
Why?
Right.
Why? I don't have any disability. I have my fingers. I can think. I can breathe. Why cannot be a good musician?
Yeah, it's great.
Why cannot learn different things? So the thing is to start to accept and to think and project what we want to do and what we want to be in 20, 40, 50 years from now, and just go.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Fear, we should use fear to keep walking. It doesn't matter if you go in that direction and tomorrow maybe you change a little bit and you go to another direction. The thing is not to stop. Not to stop. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. Maybe one day you go a little bit faster, maybe you go a little bit slower. But if you can run, run. If you can walk, walk. If you can crawl, crawl. But don't stop. That was Martin Luther King.
Whoa.
So.
Did he say that?
Yeah, I read it
wow.
like 3 days ago, and it's kind of the thing. You have all the time to be in movement, and that's the thing. Like, okay, you made a mistake, no problem, because you keep moving. You keep moving,
That's
and
great.
you continue making mistakes, and also doing good stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah, Absolutely. Yeah.
That you stay like sitting in your house and watching TV and in front of computer and Facebook with your cell phone checking about, I would like to be an astronaut, I don't know, I want to be an astronaut. Okay, well, you're not going to be an astronaut just by being sitting in your seat.
Where can people engage with you or find you? I mean, do you have a web presence? Can people find you on Facebook?
I have a web, it's valentinosviolino.com, and I have my my Facebook page, it's Valentinos Violino.
Valentinos
Violino.
Violinos.
Like the violin, the Valentinos violin, yeah.
I want to make sure I can just spell it. So Valentin for the English speakers, maybe I don't know.
Is Italian?
Valentino.
Valentinos.
So that's B.
Yeah.
A-L-L-A-N.
The short B, the B. Valentin with the B, not the B.
Not the V.
This one, that B.
Oh, Valentino.
Valentino.
Sorry. Okay. So but that's the pronunciation.
It's not the pronunciation with the F. It's a F. It's Valentino, but it's like a shorter B. Valentino. So like. In Spanish, it's vaca, not the same boca.
But if I'm trying to spell it for Americans, it's a V.
It's a V.
Okay, sorry, man. I know.
It's a V.
So for the Americans or English speakers,
no,
it's Valentino's violin.
Valentino's violin.
All right. Okay, got you. And I'll put it in the description and YouTube, and also I'm going to link it at christianhouse.com, and so they can find you on the web there and maybe see where you're going to be. They can find you on Facebook, also Valentino's violin.
You can see some. I have some of the tracks from the CD over there. I have a video I made with a new song. More like you should listen to it because it's more like a chill out funk.
We're gonna share. I want to share the videos on the web as well for people and make sure people can see that so they can connect with you. And then, how would you want them to engage with you? I mean, are you looking for places to stay if you're in Europe? Are you looking for places like the couch surf or?
No, well, most of the time we have friends. We tend to work. If I have a friend, I'm going. I don't know. I'm going to Switzerland. I ask somebody, hey, do you have some friend over there?
Wow.
Oh yeah, okay. You can stay maybe 2-3 days, 1 week. We help each other.
Wow.
That's the thing. We are. It's maybe you are not my friend, but I know you. I know you're a good person.
A mutual friend.
Yeah, we have a mutual friend. My friend told me that you're a good person, so okay, yeah, you can come over here, and then maybe we can start a friendship.
Yeah.
So it's kind of really something because this summer in particular, I met a lot of people, really awesome people. I love them all because they let me sleep and I got to know the cities because it was my first time in the north of Europe.
Wow.
And I met a lot of places from Brussels, Berlin, Amsterdam, Friedrichshafen, and a lot of places really lovely. And it's not the same if you just travel like a tourist. That if you're living over there, working in the streets, and also you're living with somebody from the place.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
So, but if somebody watching this lives in Europe, they could hit you up and be like, "Yo, man, if you need a place to stay."
Yeah,
you never know. They can connect with you. Or
or
maybe they want to hire you to come play with their band.
I hope so.
Man, thank you so much. Appreciate you, man.
No, thank you.
I acknowledge you, man, just for being an inspiration. You're super inspirational.
Well, you're an inspiration for me, actually. The first time we talked, for me was really awesome because I don't know if you remember, but I didn't have any money to pay your lessons, and I wrote to you and I told you my story a little bit, and you accepted that, and that's how I can learn and say, okay, this is this kind of people, this guy is this kind of people. For me, that was really awesome.
Thanks, man.
Because that helped me a lot to continue with this journey. And it's something that doesn't happen so much. So I'm really appreciative.
Man, my pleasure. I'm glad I did too. I'm glad that I made that decision because it was a good connection, man. I'm glad that I didn't burn that bridge.
It was a good connection.
Thank you, man. Hey, this is Christian Howes. I want to thank you for stopping by the channel and encourage you to click the link to subscribe to my free e-course for creative string players.